Look at that picture up there. It looks just like a little dot, doesn't it? Does anybody have an idea of what that picture could be? That picture is actually the Earth. The Voyager spacecraft many years ago was millions of miles out, and NASA sent a signal to the Voyager spacecraft to turn around and try and get a picture of the Earth. And this is the picture that stunned NASA, because this picture is the furthest picture we have of the Earth. And the late Carl Sagan, who was an avid atheist, when he saw this picture, he called it the pale blue dot. And this is what he said, Carl Sagan. You see this dot? That's home. That's us. On it, everyone you've heard of, every human being who has ever lived, lives out their lives. All the joys, the sufferings, the thousands of confident religions, ideologies, economic doctrines, every king and peasant, every young couple in love, every hopeful child, every mother and father, every inventor, every explorer, every teacher, every moral has lived here on this mote of dust, suspended in the sunbeam. This is what he says. Our planet is a lonely speck in the great enveloping cosmic dark. In our obscurity, in all of this vastness, there is no hint that help will come from elsewhere to save us from ourselves. When scientists look at this picture, they say all we are is a little piece of dust floating in the galaxy. We live, we die, and there is no hope. We are meant to live and die. There is no meaning to the universe. Therefore, there is no meaning to our lives. But the good news that I found, and that many of you have found, that I believe that Carl Sagan is wrong. I believe there's an answer for all of us. And this answer is found in the Bible. The Bible is not only a book of religion, a book of information, but it's actually the history book of the universe. Most people don't look at the Bible as actually the history book of the universe. Yes, it has facts and information and stories, and it talks about God and about heaven, but it's the history book of the universe. It's the only book that we have that tells us how the world got here and where we're going and how life will end. In fact, if I were to give you kind of a brief summary or outline of the Bible, this is what I would say. I call it the 7 C's of history. First, the Bible opens up with this panoramic view of creation. That the Bible tells us why the earth is here and who put it here. That there's a creator behind the creation. But this creation that God made fell. And the moral beings that he made, called humans, turned their back on God. And it's called corruption. That we've turned our back on God, and now we're separated from God. And because of that, there's catastrophe in the world. There's been judgments upon the world. That God actually flooded the whole human race with a global flood, because every human heart was against God except for one family, Noah. And then after that, people came off the ark and they spread out throughout the earth and they disobeyed God again. And as a judgment, God came down and confused people's languages, the Tower of Babel, and spread them out throughout the whole earth. But in hope and in a rescue plan, God sent his Son, Jesus Christ, who came into the world to save us and reconcile us back to God. And he did that though we're guilty, Christ became our guilt for us and died on the cross for our sins. And someday in the future, God is not going to leave us orphaned and abandoned, that he's going to come back and make all things new. And there'll be a new heavens and a new earth. And we'll be under one supreme ruler who is God the King, Jesus Christ. And that is the overview of the Bible. That as those scientists tell us there's no meaning to the universe, that everything was just a big bang and a big explosion, there is no meaning. That we believe as Christians that God has given us the history book of the universe and that we have an answer. And because of that, there is hope. And that's the amazing fact about the Bible.